before I start, I want to ask you guys a question. Has there ever been a time in your life where someone doubted you or didn't believe in your ability to do something? Who was this person? What was this about? I want you guys to keep that in mind throughout the speech. Now, after this speech, you guys will hopefully understand that sometimes life will slam you to the ground with no remorse at all. But it is up to you if you want to get back up and face life head first, or if you want to lay there being too afraid to take any action at all. Downfalls, redemption, and a comeback, all of which my father brought upon himself, have taught me that hard work will always pay off in the end. And this has challenged me to achieve anything I want to do, no matter how hard that may be. I know I can always find a way to do it. His downfall. My dad was sober for around 10 years, up until 2011 when he wasn't. At the beginning of 2011, he started to fall into alcoholism. And my mom didn't like this, so she wanted a divorce. Well, why did she want a divorce? Well, because when he got drunk, he would get aggressive and dangerous. He would beat on me and my brother for what would seem like no reason at all. And he would verbally abuse my mother. Never hit her, but it would be real close at that point. And this was not the first time she's dealt with it, so she didn't want to deal with it again. My mom and brother and my little brother grew scared of him, so they ended up leaving him. I didn't leave my dad. I didn't want him to be alone. But because I stayed with him, I was able to see how his story would unfold. I saw him get his first DUI, a suspended license, and his car taken away. Because he got his car taken away, he lost his job, and we ended up having to move with my aunt because he didn't have any source of income. During that time, he got something of a second chance. He stopped drinking, he got a new job, but he didn't learn from his past mistakes. He fell back into alcoholism, and he lost his job because of this. During that time, he also, remember when I said he had a suspended license? Well, he got caught driving with that license, and according to a website managed by the Davis Law Group, that is kept up to date by them, they state that driving with a suspended license is not a petty crime. It is actually a criminal offense that can have a maximum of 364 days in jail and a maximum fine of $2,500. And my dad was not a citizen, so the law was not on his side. On top of all that, he faced deportation. So you can only imagine how that must have felt. By the end of 2011, close to 2012, my mom and brother ended up coming back, but just like me, they saw my dad hit rock bottom, and I saw him hit rock bottom in front of my eyes, and I thought he was done for it. But after his downfall came his redemption, and with his redemption, he was going to prove to everybody just how much he had changed. Because once he hit rock bottom and lived, there's only one place you can go, and that's up. Once he came out of jail, he had only been in there for 2 months instead of a year. And to my knowledge, he didn't receive a fine. So that was actually a third chance. A chance so he can prove himself, and that's what he did. But as much as he wanted to change, we didn't believe him. I didn't believe him, and I'm ashamed to admit that. He wanted to prove all of us wrong. So 4 years after he came out of jail, he worked hard every single day without drinking a sip of booze or anything like that. He remained sober during that whole time, and after those 4 years, he was able to get a loan on a house and actually get a house. Now, for anyone in our family, that was a huge feat because no one in our family has ever owned a house. We've always rented out in apartments or anything like that, but he was the first one in our family to ever purchase a house. But he didn't just stop there. Even after his downfall and his redemption, he wanted to do more. He wanted to go the extra mile and really prove to everybody just how much he had changed. So now it's time for his comeback. One thing I should mention is that my dad had 10 years of landscaping experience. And I know that sounds a bit stereotypical, but he actually enjoyed doing it, and it's not like he just had experience because he had it. No, he genuinely enjoyed doing it, so he wanted to put all those skills to good use. He started a business, and at first, like all businesses, he started off small, but because of his 10 years of experience, he quickly caught on, got supported customers that really enjoyed him, and even now that he can say he's financially stable with that business, he still has bigger goals, and honestly, I can't wait to see them. In the end, hard work got my dad to where he is at now. His downfall taught me that sometimes life will slam you into the ground with no remorse at all. His redemption showed me that it is ultimately up to you if you want to get back up and face life head first, or if you just want to lay there. And his comeback taught me that you can fight back and do things with your life that you thought you weren't even capable of doing. So what do you want to do? Do you want to lay there and never do anything with your life? Get up and go about it, or go the extra mile and do something you didn't think was possible for yourself? Now, it's still a shame that he hit his downfall, because even during his second chance, he didn't realize who he was until after he went to jail. But according to Dean Shepard and Trent Williams, in an article called Hitting Rock Bottom After a Job Loss, in 2016 they wrote, individuals eventually hit rock bottom, come to realize that identity has been lost. This can lead to a path of recovery or dysfunction. I believe this is true because, like I said, even after his second chance, he didn't learn from it. It was not until he hit rock bottom that he truly changed. And remember when I asked all of you if anyone has doubted you or not believed in your ability to do something in the past? What was it over and how did it feel? Well, for me, it was coming to college. A lot of so-called friends that I'm not friends with anymore, play myself with, and some family members, didn't believe I could come to college just because I waited so long. I was 18 then, I'm 21 now. They didn't think I could ever come to college, but here I am. I proved them wrong, and I'm more than proud of myself and happy about it in a bit of a selfish way. But if it wasn't for my dad going through that, I don't think I would have learned those values of always believing yourself and working hard to achieve what you want to achieve, no matter how hard it may be or who may or may not believe in you. That's it.